Hey, friends, welcome back to the podcast. If you are new to Her Faith at Work, I'm so glad that you're here. And today's episode is going to be, I think, actionable and practical. And I don't know about you, but as we enter the last month of the first quarter of 2025, how the heck did that happen? I don't know. Time literally flies. And as we're entering the last month of this quarter, I'm looking back at the last couple of months and I know that I've pushed my business forward. I've done a lot of great planning. I went away for a mastermind with some friends and we got a lot of stuff done. But I'm feeling a little crunched to think that a, a fourth of this year is almost already gone. And I have things to do. I have things that the Lord has asked me to do in my business. And so the things that we're going to talk about today on the podcast could literally completely transform your business this year. And I know you hear that a lot, but this, I promise you, is something that you're going to be able to wrap both hands around and you're going to be able to implement. And we are going to talk about the 5 essential tools that I personally use in my business and recommend to all of my clients. So let's jump in. Truth time. When's the last time you raised your hands for a swift kick in the pants? Well, I'm the no-nonsense type friend who's going to tell you when you have food in your teeth. So let's get right to it. This is your infusion of sacred and secular, calling you higher into who God created you to be, exploring how intimately faith applies to every part of your life, and how you can live that faith every single day in the marketplace. I felt the tension of separation of church and state. I've been one of the few women at a table of men for decades, and I've stood my ground. Are you ready to do the same? These tools, resources, and interviews are meant to do just that. I'm Jan Touchberry, and it's time to share Her Faith at Work. All right, friends, here's the deal. If you have ever worked with me, you know that what I love to do is to help people who get overwhelmed by the details of running the back end of their business get it done. It literally keeps me up at night when I see brilliant entrepreneurs and business owners drowning in tasks that they could simplify and automate, and it could save them a ton of time. I literally have worked with clients who were spending nearly 40 hours a month just on basic marketing tasks for their business, writing emails from scratch, struggling with social media content, sitting in front of a screen with a blinking cursor, not knowing what to do next. And after implementing the tools that I'm about to share with you, my client was able to cut 40 hours a month down to 4. Can you imagine just spending 4 hours a month, 1 hour a week, marketing your business? Imagine what you could do with an extra 36 hours a month. Come on, let's go. So today we are going to talk about some tools that I hate the term game changing. You hear that a lot. It's, it's just not, it's not a me term, but it is business changing. How's that? So we're going to dive into these business changing tools and I'm going to share exactly how to use each one. We're not going to dig too far in because I know a lot of you listen while you're driving or you have it on in the background or whatever. But if something catches your attention, I would suggest that you come back and take some notes because some of these things are going to be things that you want to start implementing like tomorrow, maybe even today, depending on the time that you're listening to this. So let's dive in. First, AI. I think most of us have dabbled with AI at this point, some more than others, and that's fine. I use a tool there are lots of tools now that are encompassing AI. So AI is inside a lot of the tools that you're probably already using. I get an email almost weekly from something that I'm using as a subscription or a tool for my business saying that they've added an AI component. So if you think you're not using AI, you probably are. You probably are. Let's face it, Google's AI, right? But in what we're talking about today, This particular tool that I'm getting ready to talk to you about is called Boodlebox, Boodlebox. And you could actually consider Boodlebox your new digital team member. I hear all the time, I can't afford to outsource. When is the right time to outsource? I don't know what to outsource. Well, Boodlebox can take care of a lot of that outsourcing stuff for you at a fraction of the cost, literally $16.99 or $20 a month. So it's super affordable. And you're asking, what the heck is Boodlebox? It is a weird name. I don't know. Who knows where it came from? Somebody's kid. But what Boodlebox does is it takes a lot of the AI bots like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, all of those types of things that do different things well. And you find the paid versions of those all in one place for a low price instead of having to pay $20 a month for ChatGPT and X number of dollars for this other one and X number of dollars for this other one. You're going to pay one fee and it's going to give you all of them together. And so you might be asking, why the heck do I need a paid version? Well, they do better work. You can use the free version and it'll do okay. But as a business owner, you should be putting aside a little bit of money every month to invest in tools that are actually professional level. This is a professional level tool, okay? But you don't have to have what I would term a professional level tech knowledge to make it work. So maybe you've tried ChatGPT once or twice and you weren't really sure what to do with it. But here's the thing. When it's used strategically, AI becomes, it's like having a brilliant assistant who never sleeps. And so let me just tell you a little bit about how I use it, okay? So I manage podcasts, and every single week I use it to generate the show notes for the podcasts. I use it to generate the social media posts for the podcasts. I use it to do YouTube descriptions. In my own business, I use it for show notes for my podcast. And then I have it help me turn the show notes into a blog post. So now I've got two forms of long form content that is super helpful when you're trying to grow a business, because the more you have out there with those keywords that are being searched for, the more likely your business is to be found, right? And so I have it help me write those blog post outlines. It literally saves me hours of planning. And I also design websites for people, and I have it do first drafts based on the information that I collect from my clients. So here's the real magic, okay? Most people use very generic prompts for generating things on like ChatGPT. Okay, so it would be like, you are a social media manager. Please generate a social media post about XYZ, right? Generic, which is fine. But there are these things that you can build. It's like a bot that knows you. And inside Boodlebox, it's called a knowledge base. You can feed it information about you, about your business, about your tone, about your voice. So to train my personal bot for my business, I have given it my old blog posts to read. I have given it some podcast transcripts so it can learn how I write and how I talk. I've asked it questions so that it can ask me for information about my business and about my clients and about what I do and what my goals are for yearly goals, quarterly goals, monthly goals, all of the things. And so when you're building this knowledge base, then when you're asking your AI assistant to help you with all of these tasks, it actually doesn't sound like AI. I mean, if you're anything like me, you can probably spot an AI generated thing from a person who doesn't really know how to use it well a mile away. They usually have too many emojis, hint, hint. But when you're using it the right way, it is actually coming from a place that it is drawing from knowledge that it has about you and about your business. And so I know it can feel like cheating, but I promise you, this is not cheating. It is wise business. Wise business. So that's number one, AI. Number two, email marketing. The email marketing platform that I use is Flowdesk. It's the one that I teach. It's the one that I recommend to all of my clients. And if you've ever been struggling with clunky email platforms that make your emails look like they're from 2010, Flowdesk is about to become your new best friend. And here's why. The templates are beautiful. They actually are mobile friendly, which a lot of times they're not. The automation, so building things inside Flowdesk, super intuitive. There is no tech degree required. Hallelujah. There is segmentation features that help you send the right messages to the right people. Hallelujah. The analytics of this thing actually make sense. I've worked for clients inside their other email providers, and I I am who I'm pretty techie, y'all, and I struggle to make sense of the way that some of these work on the back end. And Flowdesk just isn't like that. It's just so intuitive and user friendly. And so it also has the ability to create landing pages for your products. And depending on the plan that you choose, it can take payments. It can take payments. So there's so many things that Flowdesk can do. And so just so you know, kind of my process for lead generation, right? So the first thing I do is I'm going to have AI help me generate a lead magnet. And once that's created, well, we're going to talk about lead magnets in a second, but once that's created, I'm going to create inside Flowdesk a beautiful opt-in page using their drag and drop builder. And then I'm going to set up my welcome sequence using the AI generated framework that we just talked about. Then I'm going to segment my lists based on customers and interests. And then I automate everything so it runs while I sleep. Simple, effective. Let's get it. Yes, please. All right, that's tool number 2. Tool number 3. I personally use Canva for lead magnets. I think Canva, again, is super user friendly. You don't have to have a design degree to understand how to use it. And it really is where the magic happens for growing your email list. Okay. So here's what most people get wrong. They think you need to create some 50-page ebook to attract clients. It's not true. It can literally be as simple as a one-page checklist that solves a specific problem that one of your ideal clients has, or a beautiful workbook that goes along with a mini course that you've already created, guides that provide quick wins, templates that save your audience time. Like there are so many different things that you could do for lead magnets that you can create super simply inside Canva to get your email list going and get it to where it needs to be. Because I think the statistic for emails are you should be making $1, maybe it's $4. I should check on that. I'll do a social media post about it. I'm so sorry I don't have the right number, but I think it's either anywhere from $1 to $4. I know that's a big difference, but you should be making $1. We'll just say $1 because it's the lowest common denominator, right? $1 per month, every single month for every email list subscriber that you have in your business. So if you have an email list of 250 people, in theory, you should be making an extra $250 a month. Let's say you have 1,000 people on your email list. That's $1,000 extra dollars per month that you could be making. So if you're not focusing on growing your email list, you are barking up the wrong tree, sister. I think there are so many people who are so focused on growing their number on Instagram, their followers, that they are missing out. The statistics aren't nearly as good for how much you're making per follower as they are per person on your email list. So let's make sure that you've got a good lead magnet, that you've got a good sequence in your email system after they opt in, and let's grow your email list. Okay. So that's Flowdesk, number 3. And number 4, marketing in general. I think people struggle, and I will raise my hand. I will raise both hands that I have struggled in the past to create a marketing plan for myself, for my business. And I think most people do. I do. I think unless you have some sort of a marketing degree or you have money in your business to hire it out, you're going to flounder there. That is until I discovered a platform that I've absolutely fallen in love with over the last few months, and it's called Enji, Enji, and it is a marketing platform. Think of it as your marketing command center or your marketing department. It's like you have a marketing department at your disposal, again, for less than what you probably spend for Starbucks a month. Okay. And here's how I use it. It can actually help me plan my month of content. I can plan content months in advance. I'll just give you an example. So I'm getting ready to launch a a retreat in November. It's called the Soul Rest Retreat. It is a new offer that I'm putting out into the world, and I'm super excited about it. And so what I do is I go into NG and I create a new service that I'm offering, and NG asks me a bunch of questions about it, and then it uses its own AI and it comes up with a marketing plan that is broken down into how many things that I have time for on a weekly basis. And so it breaks it down so the retreat's in November. It's going to give me things starting today that I need to do every single week in my business. And I tell it when I have time to work. And so, like I told it, I have 3 hours a month or 3 hours a week to spend on marketing total in my business. And I can only do it on Friday because that's the day that I have off from my full-time job. So NG takes all of the things that it has learned about my soul rest retreat that's happening in November. And it has created this beautiful marketing plan and broken it down by month and by week and given me tasks. Hello, beautiful checklists. And it's given me tasks to finish every single Friday so that I stay on track. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And so there's so many different ways that you can use NG. So it's not just for new products. Let's say your goal is to grow your email list. So you can create a campaign to grow your email list and you can give it all of the information. So it'll ask you questions and you give it the information that it needs. And then it creates a campaign to help you grow your email list by X number, whatever your goal is. Let's say you have a goal of growing your email list by 250 people in the next 4 months. Well, it's going to create a marketing campaign that is going to allow you to do that. And it's step by step. It helps you track what's working, what's not. I used to hate, I have a love-hate relationship with numbers. And I used to hate having to look at my analytics. But NG makes it so simple that I have come to love the first day of every single month. We call it KPI day, so key performance indicators, because it shows me in graph form. It tells me exactly what numbers it needs. A lot of it's automated and I don't have to go find stuff. Once I hook it up, it's just auto generating. And then I can just take a look and see what's working, what's not working, and spend my time where it's actually working. So I'm not just spinning my wheels. It helps me manage my entire content library. I can actually schedule all of my posts through NG if I want to. And it literally is a game changer because it has analytics and you can see what's resonating with your audience and adjust in real time. It is probably one of the most robust, inexpensive things that you can invest in to grow your business. I mean, I'm speaking for myself here, but it made me feel like an actual entrepreneur because I have a marketing plan that actually works. It is absolutely incredible. And then last but not least, you guys, if you've listened to me for any length of time, you know that I love text marketing. I think that most every business should use some form of text marketing. Why? Well, text marketing has a 98% open rate within the first 90 seconds after you send the text, compared to email marketing, which a great open rate is 35 to 40%. Do you see the disparity there? Now, they're not the same. You're not writing long form, but there are ways that you can build your text marketing list. That's hard to say. Text marketing list ethically. You can create automated sequences that feel personal And you can send time sensitive promotions that actually get seen. It helps you maintain relationships. Like I send happy birthdays. I'll send anniversaries to clients who have been with me for, a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever. And so it's just an easy way to maintain that relationship that is closer than what a lot of people would experience through regular email marketing. And so I would say it's supplemental. And that's why I put it as number 5 in this list of 5. If there's one that you could do without, it would probably be your text marketing. But I think once you get ready for that next step, considering text marketing is something that you probably need to do. Now, here's the thing. Knowing about these tools is one thing. Implementing them correctly, that's another. And that's where most people seem to get stuck. That is exactly why I've created something very special for you. So I am introducing what I'm calling the Foundations Collab. It is a 4-month implementation program where we work together to set up and optimize each one of these tools in your business. It's not another course where you're left to figure things out on your own. You're not going to watch a video and then have to go and figure out, how do I do this? Have to rewatch the video. How do I do this? Most people don't learn that way. We're going to meet once a month for a 4-hour workshop where we actually implement these tools together in a live workshop. It is in a group setting. The group is limited to 10 people. Once it's full, it's full. That's it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get on a Zoom. I'm going to teach you about what we're doing, and then you're going to go implement. And then each person, not only am I available the whole 4 hours in a group context, but each person, if they have specific implementation questions that they have, or if they need to screen share so I can see what's happening, or if they want to show me something and get my opinion, we can just hop into a Zoom room and now we're one-on-one. And so I'm super excited about this program, y'all. I literally, during my mastermind a few weeks ago, feel like the Lord just dropped it in my lap. And so you're going to get, again, direct access to me during the workshops. We're going to implement everything in real time. So what's going to happen is we're going to take all 4 of the first 4 of the 5, right? So you've got AI, you've got email marketing, preferably Flowdesk, because that's what I'm going to be teaching. I'm going to show you how to do a lead magnet in Canva. And once you know, you can rinse and repeat, I promise you. And then month 4, we're going to talk about NG as a marketing platform, and I'm going to show you how to set it up. And so all of those things we're going to be implementing in real time. So at the end of that 4-hour workshop, in theory, you should be done. You should understand it, and you should be off and running, implementing that in your business and using it on a regular basis. And then each month is just going to build on itself. Okay. So we're going to leave each session with another piece of your business automated that you can just sigh a breath of relief. And then if you need ongoing support between sessions, I'll be available for that as well. I'm also going to have a community for each group of 10, so that if there's questions in between time and I'm not available, you can ask the community, because you're all working on the same thing. So it's going to be so great. I'm so excited about it, you guys. And if you want to be part of this inaugural group, it is going to be for a price that is less than I will ever offer it again. And so if you're ready to stop doing everything manually and start scaling your business the smart way, here's what you need to do. You're going to go to my website, jantouchberry.com/collab, COLLAB, jantouchberry.com/collab. And it'll give you all of the information. We're going to start at the end of March. So there's not very much time before we're getting ready to start this thing. And so, like I said, spots are very limited, 10 people. Once it's done, it's done. There will never be 11. Spots are limited to 10. And so I would suggest that you get signed up sooner rather than later, because I'm anticipating, based on the clients that I have worked with in the past, that it's going to fill up pretty fast. This is a one-time price that you're getting here. And so if you know people who you think, this would be good for Sarah, or this would be good for Janie, or this would be good for whoever, just came to your mind, let them know. This is going to be the lowest it's ever going to be. Okay. Again, just a recap, 4 monthly implementation workshops, direct one-on-one support during the workshops. You're going to get lifetime access to all of the recordings. You get private community support, and it's going to be amazing. So don't let another year go by. Don't let another quarter go by without you having the proper systems in place to grow your business the way that the Lord has planted in your heart. Okay. Again, jantouchberry.com/collab, COLLAB. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Her Faith at Work. If the Lord put someone on your heart that you think needs to hear this message today, will you just smash that share button? And if you haven't already followed the show, I would love for you to do that. Super extra points if you hop over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. That helps the algorithm pick us up and drop us right in the AirPods of people that need to hear what the Lord is saying to them today. I hope you'll come back for the next episode of Her Faith at Work. The podcast comes out every Wednesday. And if you look down in the show notes, I've even got a couple of free downloads for you that I think you will really enjoy. With that, have a great week. See you next time.